Hi, my name is Christy Rutherford, women's leadership and success coach, and I assist women with living a life of total fulfillment. I assist women with letting go of their past and self-limiting beliefs, which gives them the courage and the self-confidence to live authentically and unapologetically. I can be reached at christyrutherford.com, and my books can be found on Amazon.
So you're looking at me now.
Oh, I'm looking at you.
You're looking
Okay.
at that would be really weird. Christy Rutherford, why did you start this business?
I started my business because I was successful in my career, highly successful, Lindsay, because I'm a winner. But one of the things about being successful is we carry a lot of secrets, and I was stressed out. I was overwhelmed. I didn't have a great relationship with my family. I didn't have great relationships personally. And so regardless of all the external things, the awards and the accolades and the position and the title and all these things, I was so miserable on the inside and I didn't have anybody to talk to. So working in a male-dominated work environment, having all my peers to be men, I was suffocating at my success. So I created this portion of my business to assist women with getting clarity on who they are, why they're here, and where they're going, and to unravel the things and the web that success has created for them. So that's why I do what I do. I love it.
Tell me about your journey to get here. What else have you done in your career?
Oh, you didn't know I was a winner, Lindsay? So I spent 16 and a half years in the Coast Guard, 13th black woman to ever make the rank of commander in the 225-year history. So if you understand the military and the federal government, you do 20 years and you retire with a full pension. I left at 16 and a half. So I burned out. At the end of the day, it was so many factors. I think I can't necessarily say it was one reason why I left. There were 1,000 reasons that I left, but one of the greatest reasons that I left is that I burned out. And I knew that if I didn't leave, that I was basically digging an early grave. So I've seen women, and actually talked to one of my friends the other day, who, when you're successful, you're a woman, you don't know how to take care of yourself. So I didn't allow myself to take care of myself and take time to do things that I needed to do, or actually be happy with what I was doing. I was playing a role. And so regardless of the success, regardless of the things I had, I just wasn't happy. So I left, and burning out was catastrophic. And so I took 3.5 years to really assess, how did I get here? How can you have everything that people said would make you happy? How can you check all the boxes that people said that if you check these boxes, you'd be successful? How can I have everything and yet feel like I have nothing? So to look in the mirror and see how I created everything that I had in my life, good and bad, and taking responsibility for it, I'm now able to assist women with doing the same.
What do you like most about what you're doing now?
I like setting people free. I like setting people free from self-limiting beliefs. I like to do it quickly because I go straight for it. I don't, one of my clients said, you don't play around. We're not going to have these great, fruity, frivolous conversations. I'm not going to warm you up. I'm going straight forward. So I set people free in an hour, typically in our first session. And now we have to work to make sure that they stay liberated. So I love what I do. I love setting women free, but I like doing it fast because I'm an overachiever.
So what's the most challenging part of what you do then?
The most challenging part of what I do is, because I love what I do and I'm just a general workaholic and winner, the most challenging thing is separating me time and actually doing other things other than work. Because I love what I do, because my work is now my life, I'm now working in my purpose, it doesn't feel like work, so I can continue to work and work and work and don't make time to celebrate the small wins or the accomplishments along the way. So I think that's a danger in some of the things that I do, is not knowing when to stop.
So what are you doing when you're not working? Hobbies, hidden superpowers, what are you doing?
But is there such thing as not working?
Yeah.
Typically, I do take a little time to watch TGIT. But for the most part, even last night it was Thursday. Thursday was last night, so I was watching Shondaland. But what do? I sleep. I work out. I drink coffee. I meditate. For the most part, I'm getting it in.
What hard lessons have you learned that you can share with others to help make their path a little easier?
The path is not easy. One of the things that I've learned is people change either through inspiration or desperation. Most people who have been through an awakening or a spiritual journey, or they're happy at this point in their life, is typically because something happened that was devastating that made them start to look at their life and then understand that life is not as serious as we make it out to be. You know, life is not complicated. It's pretty simple if you choose to make the right decisions at the right time. So the greatest thing that I've learned is people change through desperation and inspiration, but most people change through desperation. When you have to, whenever a physical condition has happened, or you're burning out, or somebody died, or you've been given a diagnosis of, you know, you have 8 months to live. Well, now in these 8 months, you're going to say, well, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, or I wish I would have done these things. Or even when I burn out, I should have been spending more time with my family. I should have managed my stress for the past 10 years. I should have done this. I should have done that. Most people don't change through inspiration. So now my goal is, when I speak to people, is to get them to change before they become desperate. Get them to be inspired by some of the things that I say, being very, very transparent in how I got here, so they can see themselves in my footsteps. They can see themselves in my shoes, because if I'm talking and I'm resonating with you, that means that you're where I am and I know where that road leads, and it's not going to be good. So now let's change the path and shift you from where the road that you're going down to a greater and better road. So
What are some early indicators of being on the path to burnout that someone may not realize they're on?
having headaches every day, being overwhelmed, drinking, anti-anxiety medication, depression, knowing that you need to stop and slow down, and you won't because you think that people need you, or I need this job, or my family needs me to work. So you're always in the rat race and you never get out. And I read an article a couple weeks ago where a principal died at her desk, and her husband was saying she was always stressed out and she always wanted to be there for other people. She never took time for herself. So now, her not making the decision to do something different, or the decision to leave that job, if it started to consume and overwhelm her to the point where everybody could see it, I knew that I was stressed out and that I wasn't managing. My family knew, my friends knew, but nobody said anything. So after I'm in 1,000 pieces and I started to put myself back together again, I went to my family and I said, so y'all want to say anything? Like, you watch me. They knew it was going to happen, but they say they didn't know what to say. So sometimes, or not even sometimes, family and friends and the people that are closest to you can see it, but sometimes they're reluctant to say anything because they don't know what to say. So burning out is when you're having headaches, when you're overwhelmed, when you hate your job, when you hate your life, when you're starting to drink wine every night, or you're starting to drink every night or take anti-anxiety medication. It's time to make a decision to do something different. And if that takes leaving your job to save your life, then so be it.
What would you advise the family and friends who see this happening to someone? What should they say? What kind of things might they do to help?
This is not normal. What can you do to reduce your overwhelm? Who do you need to talk to? Can you get a coach? That's what coaches do. That's what great coaches do. I'm not gonna say all coaches, but what can you do to reduce your overwhelm? And so when I think about, if my aunt would have said something, but I'm stressed out, would I have listened? But if somebody else would have said, you need more than one dot, right? You need 2 or 3 people to say something, and they're really affirming what you already know. Because when you're stressed out and you're overwhelmed, you think that people can't see it. Oh, they saw. It was all kind of red flags and alarms going off, but I thought that nobody could see how much distress and how much under duress I was. Oh, they saw. So that's why I started to ask the questions, like, so y'all were gonna say anything? Like, I thought that I was keeping this thing secret and that it's all like a mask. I call it duct tape leadership. Like, I got this thing duct taped together and they couldn't see it. Oh, it was oozing out for years. And then when it happens, they laugh, I don't know, high five each other and be like, oh, I knew that was gonna happen, but you couldn't save me or say something before that. You know, what do you need to do to take care of yourself? This is not normal. I want you to stop, and I care about you enough. Even if you don't listen to me, even if you don't like it, I need to say something because you can't continue this way.
So what's your exit strategy, Christy? Having experienced burnout, you're not going to work forever. What does the future hold for you?
For me, or the people?
For you.
Oh, so I take a lot of time off. Like today, I took time off to go have lunch with my friends. I So the intensity, I think, with what I do, because I'm walking in my purpose, because I'm living in my destiny, I love what I do. It's harmonious. There's music that plays in my head when I do it. So it's not the tense and the under duress and under stress, dealing with office politics, dealing with crazy bosses, dealing with coworkers that you can't stand, not managing the things that are going on, not working out, not eating right, eating honey buns, eating Cheez-Its. So that's the work stress. This type of environment that I've created for myself is one of joy. It is one of peace, which makes it, when I talked about difficult to distinguish between life and work, is because I love it and there is no stress. There is no resistance. There is no negativity. And when there is, if I'm frustrated, I'll stop. I'll go to the movies. That's what I do. You're like, what do you do? Oh yeah, I go see Black Panther all the time. So I do take time to work out. I do take time. So when I say I drink coffee, that's actually just me reading a book, drinking coffee, and learning to do other things. So I go on vacation a lot.
You're an author, right?
I have. Yes.
What's your most recent book?
The most recent book is called Champions Never Tell. And that book is about, it's 7 women who told their stories. It's Champions Never Tell, Sisters Surviving Storms in the Workplace. So we talked about the challenges that you have at work and being harassed, whether it's gender discrimination, racial discrimination, sexual harassment. We talked about our experiences of harassment in the workplace and using our foresight, or excuse me, our hindsight, to illuminate the path, again, of people who are in those spots of burning out. So some of the women, their hair was falling out. One, before she went into a meeting, and she's making multiple 6 figures, flying on a private jet, and would go throw up in the bathroom before she went to meetings because she was being harassed by a supervisor. One, she said she, tachycardia, it's a heart palpitation which she developed. So her hair was falling out, she was throwing up, she had heart arrhythmia basically, and stress and depression, medicated, drinking, all these things. But everybody was successful. And what is that really worth? And there are so many women who are secretly suffering. That's what that book was about. To, again, share our stories transparently and authentically to say, am I you? And am I mirroring your story right now? Now what are you going to do about it? And then giving steps to get women out of the hole that they may be in. And getting them to really see what is workplace harassment. If it doesn't rise to the legal definition of harassment, what is it? And I am being harassed, but now what am I going to do about it?
What's the name of that book again?
Champions Never Tell. It's good too. It's good.
Christy Rutherford, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.